Joining us for this segment is registered financial planner Marvin Germo and, of course, Melissa Heculea for your money questions. Hi, Mel.
Hi, Edric, and hello, Marvin.
Interesting
Welcome
story,
back.
huh?
Thank you. It's nice to be back in my favorite show.
Nice.
So, what did you think of Lisa's story?
Wow, it was an inspiring story, actually. Looking at how OFWs are spending now, I've seen OFWs through the years work 10, 15 years in the country of where they're residing, and 10, 15 years they're not earning and saving as much as they want to. And her story is very inspiring because it goes against the grain. It goes against what normal people do, because normal people spend and are in debt. And her story, she's not just out of debt, she's not just spending, but what does she have? She has investments and she has her own business. It's very different. It's not the normal thing, and it's something that more and more Filipinos should actually start doing.
Right. Is that actually a common problem? When you make more money, you spend more money instead of saving more?
Yeah, that's been the mindset. If I have, you look at a normal employee, when they get an increase or they get their bonus, the first thing that comes into their mind, even before the salary comes in, is what can I buy for this? Where can I go? Rarely do you see people where when the money comes in, or even before the money comes in, I'll invest this. I'll put this in my business first, because that's the best way to go. If I only knew 10 years back that instead of buying those cell phones when they first came out and invested it.
Gadget and stuff. Same here, saving Marvin. We learn, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Earmarked. She's earmarked her money already.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. So instead of her spending and getting in debt, she's going the other direction and letting her money work hard for her.
And,
so that's
what
amazing.
do you think of her investment options that she has? Because she has like a kind of variable life insurance right now. She has 2 condos, although one is on pre-sale, and the other one is waiting to be rented out. And then she has savings and her business. So is that a good diversification of investments, or should she have more?
Okay, let's break it down one by one. Number one, insurance. Since she's married, it's actually a sound choice also, because she gets to protect her husband. Her husband gets to protect her. At the same time, since it's a investment with insurance, her money gets to earn, number one. And then looking at the real estate investments, thinking at the way she structured it, probably she's someone who at the start wanted to be, let's say, she has low tolerance to other types of investments. That's why she started it. Because normally Filipinos really want real estate because it's something they can see. It's something that's tangible. It's something that grows.
Is that a good thing?
It's not a good thing if all of your money is there. If it's there and then it doesn't earn for you. So I think a recommendation there is, if she really wants to utilize her real estate investments, is either she uses it out to be rented, or at the end of the day she has to have a plan to either sell it to earn capital appreciation and then use the proceeds for other things. So I guess it goes with the plan. Why did she want to go and get a real estate investment? Because if she just bought it without any plan, that's sleeping money right there. So she has to have an end goal in mind where I'm getting this real estate investment to probably sell it in the future or use it for something else. And then the business, I like how she did it. She wasn't, what she said, that it did not affect their day-to-day operations. That's really good, because some of the pitfalls of those hopeful entrepreneurs is that when they get a large amount of money, they'll quit their job and then just do the business of their dreams. For me, that's very risky. What she did was very, very, very smart, because her income was still flowing, and she had a business that probably will rise even higher. So I guess a recommendation there is that when she sees the business rising higher and the business income is already more than what they get from their employment income, that would be a good time to probably come back. Yeah. That's a good start. That would be even a better success story to talk about.
You mentioned that she's risk averse, but starting your own business is the riskiest investment you can take. So would you recommend that maybe she diversify into other types of investments?
The way she did it was okay, because if it suffered a bit, it did not hit their operations on a daily basis. So at that point, they're covered. So even if the business would not be good for 6 months, they still have food on the table. They'd still be able to live a normal life. So I think she's taking baby steps. For me, it's okay to start a business that you make calculated risks. There are a lot of risks in whatever you do, but as long as you calculate it, you make the right steps, you do your due diligence and not just go blindly, it's perfectly fine. When you talked about diversification, I'm not sure if she talked about her emergency fund yet. If for one thing, I think she should also build on that. Should emergencies come in, but the real estate is good. It's a low risk investment. But should more money come in, why not invest in stocks and mutual funds? We have the best stock market in the world.
That's right. Okay, now Jasil has a question via Facebook, and she asks, me and my husband have zero knowledge in business. Is it better to buy a franchise compared to starting our own?
Good question. Okay, here's one misconception that people have about franchising. It's not because it's a franchise, it's going to be a success already. It's not a sure success that you're going into it. Number two, if they have no knowledge about business, starting their own business or going to a franchise won't help them either. Number one thing that they should do first is for them to study what they really want to get into, and then they need to see where they're passionate, if they're passionate about that business. Because at the end of the day, if it's a franchise or it's a business that they started on their own, if they're not passionate about it, they're just going to drag themselves every day to work. So I guess my recommendation is to start and study more about it. But if they go to a franchise, systems are there. If it's a popular company, the branding is there. They don't have to market it as hard as starting it on their own because it's already popular. There's already recognition. There's people who will do the marketing for them. And they won't have a hard time starting from scratch. Especially if they're not too good in accounting, they're not too good in sales. They have something that they can follow.
Yes.
Although some people think, you know, they can buy a franchise, they can do the training, and then they can put somebody in that, whatever it is, that business. And they don't have to go there every day. Is that doable, or do you have to be hands-on?
I'm very entrepreneurial by nature, and I really think at the start you really have to know the business, because I've seen a lot of people who did franchising, but they did not study it well. They didn't know that their staff were stealing money from them. So no matter how good the system is, if people cheat and you don't know that's happening, you're still going to lose money.
So you can't go remote control.
A lot of the great entrepreneurs I know say, you know, no one will make money for you. You have to be the one to really see it happen.
And then there's no shortcut for success. It's not a microwave. It's not a microwave success story.
Okay.
We're gonna have a question from Rudy, and I'll read it for you, Mel.
Thank
you.
In
Filipino, nagsisikap akong mag-ipon para mas maging maginhawa ang buhay ng pamilya ko pagbalik ko sa Pilipinas. May naitabi na akong 1 million. Alam kong maliit na halaga pa yan, kaya balak kong magtrabaho pa dito ng 5 taon. Para palaguin ang ipon ko, mas mabuti bang i-invest siya sa negosyo o sa stock market?
That's a good question once again. Number one, congratulations for saving up 1 million pesos. Most Filipinos that have been working abroad, they can't. They haven't conjured that much, even if they're working for years. So number one, congratulations on doing that and accomplishing that. Yeah, salute you. And to answer your question, investing in the stock market and in business, they're both okay. You have to find something that fits you. Do you see yourself as someone who wants to run your own business, or do you want to just be an investor and let other people run the business for you? But the key for you is to actually study it. You can never go wrong if you invest in yourself, in your mind, and knowing the right choices. Because at the end of the day, it's your money, and if you don't feed yourself, you won't have the wisdom and the knowledge to make the right decisions. And that in business, for me, wisdom is the best key. It will help you rise above challenges if you know what to do, you know where to go in every scenario. So study it. If you invest in the stock market here, invest in good companies, you're well set. If you go the entrepreneurial side, you have to study even more.
Now, Nori asks, how can OFWs invest in the stock market since banks don't allow us? What are our options?
Okay, what's good about our system now is there are a lot of online brokers. If you visit the online brokers, you can look at their sites from the PSE official website. So look at the online brokers. They have systems and processes there where you download the forms and just contact them directly how you can possibly open an account. What's important is you have a valid bank account here. The funds are coming from you, and then once the account is already set up, you can trade anywhere, even if you're abroad.
Right. So the funds have to be in a bank account here.
Yes.
I'm sure that they have bank accounts here, though, because every time they remit,
of course,
you know,
for the relatives. Etc.
Yeah. And the PSE now has their own platform. Where you can trade yourself directly.
Yep, that's right. And another option, I guess, that they need to look at is if there's a broker there, foreign broker there that invests in the Philippines. So that's another option, but they have to check more, because from our perspective,
yeah,
it might be more expensive than here, because here it's much lower.
And I think they need to decide if they want to pick stocks themselves personally, or if they want to go with a mutual fund, with a UITF, or something else.
Yeah.
So they need to figure that out first, and then from there it's actually quite easy.
Yeah, that's right.
Everything's online. Okay, now Janice asks, since moving to Singapore a few years ago, I've managed to save a good portion of my pay. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about investing, so I'm not making the most of my savings. What should I do?
Okay.
Singapore.
First thing, yeah, Singapore. I love Singapore. First thing, don't invest first. Study first.
Yeah.
All right, don't just put your money in the stock market or in mutual funds now just because it's going up. You need to study the ins and outs of it. The worst thing for you to do is just to put your money just because everyone's doing it. So, yes,
right. That's how people are scammed. Yeah.
Take a break first. Take a step back. Study everything. It's okay for you at a certain point to lose money through inflation, but don't let it stay that way for a long time. Give yourself 3 months to study the ins and outs of it. Then after you study the ins and outs, you find, oh, the stock market is for me, or mutual funds is for me, or real estate is for me. What do? You start with small amounts first. You start with amounts that you can tolerate to lose. Even in a business, you start with, if you can tolerate 10,000 or 15,000 in the stock market, start with that until you grow your confidence. The most successful people in investing I've seen is that there's a conviction and a confidence in their investments that no matter what happens, they stick to their decisions. So you can never go wrong with that. As long as you have the knowledge here already and then you start small, your experience and your confidence will propel you to make your investments go higher.
But the good news about Janice is she's actually saving.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
At least she
As
has
you're saying,
savings.
it's against the norm, right?
Yeah.
That's against
good
the floor
for her.
It's just study and dip your toe in, see what suits you.
I like that. Dip your toe in. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Try it out. Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. Thanks.
Okay, well, anyway, send us your money questions via Facebook, email, or Twitter, and we'll try to answer them in our upcoming episodes or on our next Q&A Friday.
It's good to see good problems, huh? People who are actually saving and therefore asking. I mean, it's good to see stories like that. Thank you again, Marvin. Mel, that's our show today. I'm Edric Mendoza. Join us again tomorrow for more Talk and Tips, so you're always right on the money.